Thanks a lot, Ed. First, a caveat from my standpoint. I'm a technologist and a businessman, and I have become an expert in reimbursement really by default, really because I was forced to, not because I wanted to. The title of my presentation is Ready, Fire, Aim, because that's been our experience. Entra Health is my company. We've been around for about 3 years now. We do have 510(k) approval of our wireless Bluetooth blood glucose meter, but we took the opposite, or actually one of the other approaches that Ed just mentioned in passing. We took the international approach. We said we don't even want to go after the FDA. So 4 partners, all Southern California guys, we started the company in London. And we got our CE approval in London, we got our development done, we got our R&D done, all spending money in London and where our OEM is in Korea. And then once we got going with that, then we came back to the US and started the 510(k) process along with a lot of other international regulatory processes in parallel. So the problems that we were trying to address with our wireless Bluetooth meter were very typical of a lot of chronic disease problems. And I'm just going to give you a quick overview of this just so you sort of see where I'm coming from a reimbursement standpoint, and then I'm going to get into more of our experiences, our war stories in reimbursement. So the problems with a diabetic has to test their blood glucose on a regular basis in order to sort of know where they are. They can't be too low, they can't be too high, they just want to be in a nice even range. And talking to diabetics, I've found that they really can't tell just by feel. And so they really do need to test to understand sort of where their blood glucose is. So the kinds of things that we were trying to attack with our meter was low testing compliance, low patient engagement, poor patient record keeping, we automate patient record keeping, incomplete understanding of the blood glucose levels because they're not testing, distance from appropriate care, no regular feedback to and from the care team, high cost of complications, and one of the additional advantages that came out of doing this for the payers was that because we're uploading our blood glucose results with the MyGlucoHealth system to a secure web portal via a mobile device, we sort of know how many test strips the patient has received. Test strips are single-use pieces of the blood glucose measurement system. And we know how many tests they're uploading, so we sort of know how many test strips they have, right? Very important because if you go to eBay or a lot of places, you can find test strips being resold. So people are getting prescriptions for 200 test strips a month, they're using 50, they're selling 150 to supplement their income. Not really efficient for the payer community. So what we did was we developed this blood glucose meter with a Bluetooth chip in it. We wrote mobile applications and we integrated that transmission of data to a secure web portal which automatically can send data into electronic health record systems. And it also generates automated text messages and emails based on blood glucose readings, frequency of testing, that kind of thing. So it's the first FDA-cleared blood glucose meter with Bluetooth end-to-end labeling. And this is important because it's not just the meter that's approved, it's the meter, the mobile application, and the portal. So it's end-to-end labeling and end-to-end testing by the FDA of the efficacy and the accuracy and the precision of that transmission. We knew we would hit a reimbursement issue. So our initial strategy was to build a blood glucose meter into a cell phone, right? It's not rocket science to sort of jump to that conclusion. When we looked at the intellectual property landscape and we looked at the reimbursement landscape, we said, no, this is not going to work because we will have to fight reimbursement battles with the payers and with CMS in order to get our meter reimbursed. So we backed up, we took a really good blood glucose meter, we put a Bluetooth module in it, and we said, hey, this is a blood glucose meter just like every other blood glucose meter that's out there. And so as such, it should be reimbursed like any other blood glucose meter. And what we're finding is internationally that's true. In the US, it's a whole different story. So theoretically is reimbursable out of the box, and it is unique from the standpoint is it is both a durable medical equipment device under some reimbursement plans, and it's a pharmacy benefit under other reimbursement plans. So we like to say the two most important questions that we need to answer and that you need to answer if you're developing a wireless health product is, do you have a right to operate? That means, do you have the intellectual property ownership or licensing that allows you to operate along with the regulatory? And who will pay for it? Meaning payers, public and private, will they reimburse for your device? And one of the issues is that, and that's why my ready, fire, aim is I don't know, in many cases, what I'm going to be paid for it until after I deliver the product and my customer is using it, okay? So in normal businesses, I got into healthcare about 15 years ago. In normal businesses, you build it, you price it, you sell it, you deliver it, and you get paid, right? Typical business. In healthcare, on the other hand, you build it, sell it, deliver it to a customer, then price it, and then, well, you actually don't price it. Your payer prices it for you. And then you get paid maybe after several iterations through the paperwork morass that is reimbursement. So in the U.S., it's a very complex system. Sorry. That has a variety of beneficiaries, a variety of payers. Some of these include the patients, of course. They benefit, they don't pay. They might pay a copay or a monthly insurance fee or something like that. The providers that are trying to provide a benefit and in addition use pharmacological and medical device technology to improve the care of their patient, but they want to get paid too. Public and private payers, regulators, which Ed has given us a good presentation on, and the device companies themselves. What we're finding as a business, and I think what is going to be found in a lot of wireless health as they bring products to market, because we've got a product on the market, we've got a product that's for sale today, but what we found is uncertain reimbursement equals less venture capital. You need venture capital to really get these businesses going and off the ground and to compete. But if the VCs don't know what you're going to be paid for your product, and you don't know what you're going to be paid for your product, that's sort of a risky investment, right? And in addition, physician uncertainty about coverage, or physicians not really understanding how to prescribe a product leads to less prescribing. So here are these benefits. We're selling our Bluetooth meter for the same price as other unconnected meters. We're providing this whole rich back end, but because of coverage uncertainty, physicians might be prescribing it less, and there's less VC money out there in order to support what could be a very positive benefit for patients, and what is.